If John Wick wants peace, he's going to have to prepare for war, as Keanu Reeves returns as the headshot-loving, judo-throwing hitman in John Wick 3 Parabellum. This time around, he's on the run from the High Table after killing one of its members who double-crossed him in the previous film. And this film takes place immediately after the end of John Wick Chapter 2. With the clock ticking and a tenacious adjudicator sent in to tie up loose ends, John's going to have his work cut out for him if he's going to survive. Listen, if you haven't caught on by now, the John Wick series has long since cemented itself as one of the best American action movie franchises in decades, and John Wick Chapter 3 is just making things better. I'm sure I'll catch hell for this, but I'd put the fight choreography and gunplay of John Wick Chapter 3 above the entirety of the Matrix trilogy. There's an organic blend of urgency, flashiness, and brutality that is incredibly satisfying to watch, especially when you consider the fact that Keanu Reeves is 54 years old. Even if the story were garbage, it is just amazing to watch this man do so much of his own stunt work and fight choreography, and I don't know where he finds the energy, quite honestly. I loved how every scene is planned out to feel different from the one before, incorporating the environment from scene to scene in an effective way. They even think about the fact that some of John's adversaries have body armor and bullet-resistant helmets, so he has to get in close enough to lift the visors of their helmets to shoot them in the face. If I'm being perfectly honest, it looks like a lot more people get shot in the face in John Wick Chapter 3 than in the other two John Wick films combined. And for as excited as I was to see Halle Berry join in on the fun, I was absolutely not prepared for how good she was going to be in this film. Playing a former colleague of John's named Sophia, she is arguably as deadly with guns and hand-to-hand fighting as John Wick is, and it's just amazing to watch everything play out. It's absolutely rapturous, and massive amount of credit to Halle for doing as much training as probably Keanu Reeves did to get into fighting shape for this role. Their action set piece in Marrakesh is probably one of the best that you'll see this year, especially when they incorporate tactical German Shepherds. However, we also need to show some love to my man Mark Dacascos. I go all the way back to Double Dragon with this guy, so you know I'm a fan. But him as Zero, who basically leads his own clan of ninjas and is working on behalf of the Adjudicator, is just an amazing villain. It's not even funny. I love that his level of respect for him as a killer almost borders on being a fanboy. Doesn't hurt that he's aided by Sisep Arif Rahman and Yayan Ruhian from the Raid movies. Them some wild boys. But for all the action, including a motorcycle katana fight that was clearly inspired by the Korean action film The Villainous, there is a genuinely good story in John Wick Chapter 3, and more expansion of the world in which all of these characters take place. We see so much more of how this underworld operates, and we even get a deeper understanding of John Wick as a character, as we get little hints here and there about his past and why he's such an effective assassin. The world building of the John Wick films has always been appreciated, and it's amazing how they're able to expand on that world with every successive film, while still leaving some mystery as to the origins of the High Table and what they represent and what their ultimate goals are. For every new element that's revealed in John Wick Chapter 3, we still feel like we're just barely scratching the surface, and it's a testament to the filmmakers for them to be able to strike that balance. As far as I'm concerned, this is the standard for action movies in North America. Like, this is the level the rest of y'all need to be at, because if it's not Tom Cruise learning how to fly a helicopter so he can do the climactic dogfight at the end of Mission Impossible Fallout, it's Keanu Reeves performing a violence ballet that is coming ever so much closer to rivaling some of the action films that we see over in Asia, for example. It's not quite there yet, but you can see the progression. You can see the commitment to getting this choreography as tight as possible, and the camera work staying on the actors for as long as possible without cutting. Like, that's where we're at with John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, and I can't see any other action movie coming close to the level of gunplay and fight choreography as this film. Like, it's a wrap as far as I'm concerned. I know we're only in May for 2019, but I don't see any other American action film doing what John Wick is doing, and it's just absolutely incredible. This film is sleek and stylish, but there's still a grittiness and a brutality to it that comes within a hair's breadth of being gratuitous, but just manages to pull itself back from the edge at the right time. Reeves has a strong supporting cast to work with returning stars like Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, and Lawrence Fishburne, but there are also some great new additions like Asia Kate Dillon, Halle Berry, Angelica Houston, and Saeed Tagmaouri. You know good and goddamn well you need to see this movie in theaters. That's not even a question. You need to give it your IMAX, your Dolby Cinema money. If you're a fan of this franchise already, you are in for a treat. I guarantee it. Hey guys, thanks for watching this review. If you've got any comments for me, make sure to leave them in the section below, as well as hitting that like button. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family, and if you'd like to stay up to date on more at random videos, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button right over here.